Mic check, mic check. Oh shit, the mic don't work. Damn. It's not working today? Fuck. Mic check. 1 2. 1 2 1 2. Huh. Don't look like we got any microphone. Well, that's not good. Looks like it don't work. Oh, now, mic check. I guess that works. Oh, it was working? I didn't think you could hear me. One, two, three, 4, 5. Because it's plugged in? Oh, that's what it was. It was plugged in. Okay. Now it's probably working. All right. Oh, it looks like Trump's going to be arrested on Tuesday. All right, cool. Thank you, brother. I'm not going to be live streaming any protest. I'm not getting involved in that at all. Fuck them. Fuck them all. Like, I'm just not, because, it's, they act as if the justice system is so bad when something's, happening to them, and then people care, but most people don't give two shits about it when it's turned against you, and you're right, and, I've had it happen. I've been the victim of corrupt fucking cops before. I've had them steal. They fucking stole money. They've lied. And so now suddenly you got the quote unquote patriots are all like, upset. Look what happened last time Trump called for a protest. How many people that are innocent are sitting in jail right now for just going there, right? If you were anywhere in the vicinity, they're still picking some people up. They picked a guy up on Thursday, some Jewish guy that was like a pro-Trump dude. Like years later. Fuck that. He's calling for protest again. I feel like last time he threw them people under the bus. So, listen, I want Trump to be president again. I think if Trump became president, a lot of this nonsense would stop. Elon Musk is now saying that if Trump gets arrested, he'll win in a landslide. How do you figure? How do you figure that? What difference is it going to make? What do you think? Like the hood's going to turn out and be like, he's one of us. He knows what it's like to be wrongfully accused and blah, blah, blah. Get the fuck out of here, man. Elon tweeted a picture out of him and his mother. Yeah, no, I've had that happen too, bro. I had a situation where they said I was drinking and that I wasn't, right? I got in an accident. Here's the story. I got in an accident. I had a couple beers in the car. I was coming home. The beer fucking exploded. I got the airbag deployed. So the beer was in a can. It exploded. So the odor was all over the car. He had me blow. I blew a 0. I blew straight zeros for him. They still took me to jail, and I had to fight that shit for like 7-8 months. They would not come off of it. They wanted me to plea out to reckless driving, and I was like, no. I reached for my phone, and I went to reach for my phone because my phone slid off the seat. This was back when there was no now they would have been like, oh, you can't be on your phone when you can't be playing with your phone. So, but it was before that. The phone slid off the seat, and I went to grab it, and next thing I know, I hit the grass, and that shit was wet, and when I jammed on the brakes, I went sliding into a tree, and the airbag went off. And these scumbags the zero and doing the sobriety test, that wasn't good enough for them. I've had them steal money. Just recently, I got them 2 tickets that like I'm still having to deal with. I didn't do either one of them things. These so like I see like, oh, he's gonna be wrongfully accused. Like, good, get a taste of your own fucking medicine. Now you know how the rest of us live. Well, not all of us. You know, some people still have never had, and good for you. Good for you. I'm glad you've never had that problem. It's terrible. It's a horrible thing to go through. It's a horrible thing to go through, to be wrongfully accused and then have to fight it. And let me tell you, unless you got money, you got funds, how do you fight it? I want to fight these 2 tickets. This lawyer wanted $5,000 to fight it. Like, it's impossible. You have no chance. You have zero chance unless you got money. And that's one thing I don't have. So I'm just like, whatever, man. I'm not getting tied up in none of that. I'm not showing it. I'm not going to promote it. Nothing. I'll watch it just like the rest of everybody else. We can go watch it on someone else's channel. You know, what difference would it make anyway? You know, it doesn't matter. At that point, I feel like I'm being used. So the live stream in general, I'm gonna probably back off for a little while. So I need a break. I'm starting to really lose my mind over it, and you know, I look around and I'm seeing the others. I explained why I dumped the mods last night, and it was nobody's, you know, and nobody that's here, I don't think, you know, that I was feeling a certain way about. Fuck, bro. Hold on a second. Sorry, y'all. Probably everybody left. Yo, neighbors are, my God, man. Remember I told you about the neighbor I got, right? And I'm not exaggerating when I tell you. Fuck off. I'm not exaggerating when I tell you I have some communist binders. I got some neighbors. Boy, I tell you what. Sorry, I couldn't, I had to bounce for a second. My bad. That neighbor last night was hiding. See, I smoke, so I leave my window open, right? Let me know if the sound don't sound good. I turned the phone upside down, man. I'm fucking hungry. My ribs are touching bad. I can tell you stories, guys. I can tell you stories. I got stories. But and they're not stories, they're real life. They're not fiction. These are non-fiction stories, I can tell you. Shit that I've been through. And so when I see, everybody like, oh, they're unlawfully yeah, I think Trump's getting a raw deal. Oh, here we go with the fucking, look at this. They got these cop cars that come down the street. It's for a funeral, but I've never seen a cop car decked out with purple. Purple. You ever seen any of that? I've never seen that before. They got these cop cars that flash purple lights for funeral. I'm not talking about the funeral cars or like the security detail. Sometimes they send like a couple extra cars as trailers or whatever. I'm talking about an actual police car around here that turns on purple lights and they lead the procession. I've never seen that before. It's got to be a new thing. We got so much money to waste. And this is the thing. Oh, someone's having a little girl party. So hopefully my grandkid comes over tonight. I'm just going to spend time with her. If anything, I'm going to really put a lot more time into the slime videos because, like, the channel's marked. FomoTV is just I'm spinning my wheels over there. I know some people say no, keep on plugging, but, it's when I look at the short videos and how well they were doing, and then how they just drop off, it's hard. And then everybody's like, get a new channel, start a new channel. Man, that's another, couple years worth of work. So between the dial champs, and I'm not going to stop making content. I'm just going to back off the live streams. Like, I feel like I enjoy doing it. I have fun doing it, but it's like becoming unfun, Especially when I'm being bit off of. Like, someone was biting my shit yesterday. I didn't like that, I mean, I know it happens. I bite people's stuff, and so, it is what it is. I understand, and, I'm not going to copyright someone. I mean, if someone was doing it straight blatantly, like somebody has done that in the past. I won't say who, but because I don't want to, like, stir up old shit. That's fine. It's still up, though. And they just straight up took my shit just to make me look bad. And it's like, well, now that I'm monetized, I have access to the copyright thing. And so I can actually go to have a channel pulled down, but it wouldn't do any good at this point. So I just figured, let it go. But if it happens again, I won't hesitate to do it. Fuck it. Fuck it. Everybody else plays the stupid fucking game, just like censorship shit. It's like, God, man, the people nowadays, like, you would not have survived. Most people would not have survived. Like, they always they act like they're all, I'm gangsta and all this shit, right? Let me tell you something. Most people nowadays wouldn't survive back in, like, the 70s, 60s, 50s, 40s, 70s, even 80s. You wouldn't survive. Like, you think you're tough and rough. First thing they do is they flip, right? Look at, and you know what? It's because of who the kids look up to. You grow up with people like 6ix9ine, 6ix9ine, such a gangster. Now, I don't really blame 6ix9ine in a way because like they did him really fucking dirty, you know. But this is your definition of a gangster? Like you have no idea. He ain't shit. He's got a lot of money. He can send people to do his dirty work and stuff. But take all his people away, take his money away, he ain't shit. You know, he's soft as puppy shit at the end of the day. They had to PC him and everything, you know. And you know, I mean, I get it because like if you got enough people, like what are you gonna do? You can't. And let me tell you something about people who say they'll stand with you. Very few people will stand with you. Very few people will stand with you. When the chips are down, man, you find out who your real friends are. You know, I was listening to Wonder the other day, and he had made a comment about like when you're doing well, you find out like who's real and shit like that. No, no, no. When you're down, like I get what he's saying when you're up, you know, because people come around and they want something. You find out who's fake as fuck because they'll come out of the woodwork. But when the chips are down, you find out who your real friends are, who stands with you, you know, who believes you when you tell them, hey, I didn't do that. Who believes you? Who stands with you? And then when you're proven and you're vindicated, notice who shows back up. Fake as fuck. And this is what I was talking about when I said that last night about what does it matter? What difference are we making? I thought we were making a difference. And like I said, I said it before, maybe we did make a difference at some point. Like, you know, people seem to be somewhat waking up now. There was a thing posted this morning by that one Telegram channel that I don't trust any longer because he puts out a lot of bullshit. He said that like 3 agencies were investigating Fauci for crimes and genocide and stuff. Like, yeah, where's your sources? Where's the link? Oh, you don't put up no sources, no link? Sounds like a bunch of bullshit to me. Sounds like a bunch of bullshit. I'll be surprised if they do bring Trump. Like, what are they going to do? They're going to perp walk him. They're going to put, you know, they're talking with the CIA, or no, I'm sorry, they're talking with the Secret Service. I was reading about how they're going to handle arresting him. Like, are they going to put him in handcuffs? Blah, blah, blah. He's going to be house arrested. They're not going to drag him to jail. Maybe he wants to, you know? I mean, they put Ben in the handcuffs and shit. Or I think they did. I don't remember. Sometimes I feel like Trump, like... Hold on a sec. Give me a second. What's up, Ace? I didn't see you sneak in here. Did you leave? Maybe I should go on a gambling run. Just fucking take the rent money and fucking go to the poker room, you know? Buy like $2,000 worth of scratch offs. Everybody I've ever seen buy rolls of tickets like that, I've seen people buy like whole rolls. No one ever wins. I've never seen anyone win buying a roll like that. Usually you don't come up, you come down. I tried it once with a $2 roll back in my heyday. I got $2 tickets. I got an entire roll of tickets. I lost on that. It's like essentially the same thing. It's just a bigger bet, you know. All right. you know, I look around, right, and I look at all these people. I look at everybody, and I notice that everybody's most people have their head in the clouds. Like 95%, I'd say 90%. I'll give a little bit more credit. Like 10% of the people out there really truly, if maybe less, they understand what's going on in the world. They understand that. Like I was talking to someone this morning, and he's like, "Oh, you know, yeah," and he started like he's telling he's telling me about SVB Bank, and then he's like, yeah, and then one went under on Saturday. Well, clearly he doesn't know me. He doesn't know that, you know, what we do on the stream and the news that we talk about, right? I'm much more well informed than 98% of the people. I mean, there's, you know, I mean, people that aren't like in the know as far as like, you know, you got some kind of like clearance or something, you know, people like that, you know, military, government, obviously they know more than we do because they're privy to some of this stuff. But I wonder how much of the stuff that they receive is mis and disinformation at the highest levels, right? So you got like maybe other adversarial organizations that feed them a bunch of horse shit, and so they got talk about having discernment skills, needing discernment skills. Boy, I tell you what, when you're up there at that level, you really do, because they're feeding you all kinds of shit. You're seeing all kinds of reports. How much stuff do they see that we never even hear about? You know, and how much of it is true and how much is it false? And they sit there and they weave a tale to try and, you know, how can we make this work for us, whether it's true or false? You know, there's documented evidence on things like this where like fake news stories have been inserted, and they, you know, and it's so deep that, you know, my kid always says it's not that deep, so he always says to me, I'm like, you're wrong. Motherfuckers, man, they'll insert a news story like 6 months, a year before, like just setting the plot up. It's like a novel, man. You know, some of these movie writers, you wonder where they get all these ideas from and where they get like these plots for these movies and stuff like that. And, you know, someone with a good imagination can dream up, you know, pretty much anything. But, you know, the techniques and the things that they do and the, you know, weapons they use and stuff, that, man, it's, you know, and I appreciate, you know, as far as the live streams go, I really do appreciate like the people that come here, hell or high water. Don't think I don't sit up at night sometimes wondering, you know, like who you are, you know, like, you know, why out of like, you know, out of 1,600 people that subscribe, why is there like, you know, this many that, you know, always come back? I'd like to believe that it's because, you know, we're friends on some level, you know, like somehow. I mean, even though most of us will never, probably a very large number of us will never meet each other in real life, which, you know, I'm not against. Like, I've met online people before, you know, and it hasn't always gone so well. A lot of times I'm disappointed, but nonetheless, I have met people online. You know, I'd love to meet some of you guys and sit down, have a beer, you know, go out to dinner or whatever. Maybe make a marvelous fucking Italian meal for you one day, you know, have a gravy or whatever, you know, like that would be cool. And I have met some other creators. I had plans to meet up with some creators, but it never really pans out, you know. A lot of people live a lie. They live a lifestyle that's a lie. So on camera, they don't show you anything but like the best. They're doing the best of the best. You know, when they go and they get an Airbnb, they act like that's their crib. And maybe that's the way to do it. See, I don't enjoy being a liar. Like, I don't like it. I don't like, that's why I kind of wear my emotions on my sleeve, and what you see is what you get with me, because I don't feel like I need to, you know, be fronting, you know, and I could do it too. You know, I could only make, stop, bro. You know, I can only make videos in you know, places and just go somewhere and find a nice spot and just do that. Maybe I should. I feel like taking a test. Oh, you need to eat, don't you? I need to do a test one day and just like make a channel that the only time I upload is, maybe that's the key. And that's what I'm not doing. I mean, let's face it, guys. You got to be, if you want to make it in the content creation world, you got to be a little fake. You got to be fake. You got to be a little fake as fuck. It's got to be done. And it's hard for me to do that. Not if you're doing like lifestyle videos and stuff, my wife always points to like, these women that she watches that do content like, makeup and lifestyle and this and that. And I'm just looking around like, dude, and she's like, yeah, they get paid, they get free trips and all this shit. They give them products and all that. I said, that would be cool, but like, you got to start somewhere. And I really believe that if you have IRL people, like you need to have help IRL. If you don't have IRL, real world, like individuals, like family and friends that are willing to support you out the gate, I feel like it's even more difficult, It helps. Like, I'll give you an example. We tried, or she tried to do Beachbody at one time. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Beachbody, but Beachbody, like some of them girls, you have like a coach and then you have like two legs. So you have one coach and then you have another coach. Like this, I'm not sure how it completely works, but it's one of these, like, I don't want to say pyramid marketing schemes, but it's kind of like, it's a market, you go down. It's kind of like a pyramid, I suppose. It's legit, I guess, if you can get, the people. But what happens is when you get like the big coach, right? And so you get a certain percentage or whatnot, right? That's usually everybody wants to get with the coach that has the most. Even though everybody's doing the same shit, they're all doing the same thing. There's no real advantage to going with the other person financially. It's just like this perception that if I'm on my right leg is underneath the biggest one, and my left leg's underneath the, another big one, then I'm going to win better. And somehow or another, they sell that idea. So when you come in, especially if you come in later on, it's just like crypto, motherfucker cashing out freaking Zen, like, look, I'm still making money on Zen. You got in on day one and you did this. And listen, anyone could have done it. Yeah, that's true. And then as soon as it becomes unprofitable for them, then it's like, oh, well, you need to hold and wait, but yet you don't hold any. I heard homie say that the other day, like, talking about how he don't hold any Zen. So he was just like straight flipping it all the time. So there's no long-term outlook for this. Well, I'll just buy it cheaper, and listen, people like that, and when they're really doing it, I mean, if you really live that life, then yeah, it's worth listening to you. I want to listen to people that, are doing it because I have the knowledge. Like, I don't need any more knowledge. I need to know, like, what are you doing before you do it? Not 3 days later. And see, and to me, that's fake because like a lot of people act as gatekeepers. They don't tell you what they're doing before they do it. Now, that being said, Trey had, he had given me a heads up on it. He definitely did. He let me know like, a couple weeks before, Zen dropped, and had I followed his lead, I just didn't know what the hell was going on, nor did I have, the dry powder to take a shot at it, I took a small stab. I'll be honest. You know how many fucking steaks I've let go? I'm not even joking. Or mints. I've had to like leave several of them recently. So I wasted money getting in on the inbound because when I went to mint them, the price was like, compared to what I was gonna recover, it wasn't worth doing anymore. It was like, it went from, oh, it's just a mint, right? And this is the line, it's free. It's just a transaction, right? But some of my transaction fees, it was, okay, so it was like maybe $2 or $3, something, as high as maybe $5, but on the initial, right, to claim the mint on the wallet. Then you wait so many months or weeks or days, and you go to claim that again. And now, because, things have pumped, more people are interested, the miners are working overtime and shit. Now, suddenly it's like $10, $14. to mine back out. Maybe it goes back down to like $5, $6, whatever. Let's call it in the middle. We'll say like 7, 8. You're already say 5, 7. You're $12 into this, and this is per transaction, right? You don't get to, like, when you do those what are they called? When you can do multiple wallets at once, they got like a contract or something that runs this, and it automatically creates you a wallet, and then you control it through the one main master wallet. Batch miners. When you do the batch minting or batch miners, you're paying. There's a premium you pay for that. It's not like you can do it, and because if it was like that, then yeah, I would have done that the whole time. Like, oh, $5 and I can mint, 50 wallets just for that transaction fee. Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? You'd be stupid not to. Or maybe it costs like $2 more or something. No. It's like, when I did the math on it at the time I looked into doing it, and I looked at it for a couple of days, and I came to the same conclusion each time. It was like, you wanted to do 5 wallets, you paid 5 times the amount of fee, right? Transaction fee. So if it was $5, it was $25 plus there was like a premium on that of a couple extra dollars per wallet for the privilege of using the batch minter. So you're down. You're down from jump. Now, when you go to recuperate it, same thing. You go to recover it, same shit. So you have a batch mint that goes from, $5. You can do like multiple wallets yourself. It's a pain in the ass. No one said anything about batch minting in the beginning. That was kind of scammy-ish, right? Scaminity. That's what I talk about. That's built-in scaminity. Only the people at the very top that were rocket scientists or like were the developer knew that, or was a developer, any developer, I guess, for crypto. Maybe you would have realized that those batch minters were available, but you're behind the 8 ball. As soon as you found out that you could batch mint, you're already behind the 8 ball. So you go to sell in a bull run, you're paying more, and then you got to swap. You claim, then swap. So there's 3 times here that you got to spend money, right? You got to claim, then you got to mint, and then you got to sell, which costs, depending on when you're trying to do it. And it always seems like when it's pumping, you got to be super patient, wait around. It may take you a few hours if you really want to, save. And if you're only doing one wallet at a time, it's really important that you try to get the lowest transaction fee possible, but you run the risk that you're going to sell into a dump instead of the pump. So it's like a lot of math you got to do, and that's the game. I get it; it's part of the game. But you're holding and holding and holding, and you're holding for what? I even heard Trey come out and say that once all the liquidity is wiped out, that's the time to sell. Like, why? Explain this to me. Maybe I'm not understanding this. So there's like no liquidity left. So basically, there's no value in it because no one's putting liquidity up for the swap. Why? What? People are going to FOMO into it and buy up because there's no liquidity just to provide liquidity for what? For a token that's going to continue to dump? Or are you saying that a lot of people are going to rush into it? Like you're thinking they're going to put liquidity. I've seen a lot of things where the liquidity gets pulled and the price drops and they never recover. It stays on the floor for forever or a very long time. So, so like, yeah, there was a time once where you were able to do this. There was a short period of time where anything you touch turned to gold. Tell you what, I got some major anxiety right now. I don't even talk about it. I think maybe we'll go to the park or something, walk around. But yeah, I'm really between a rock and a hard place, and I'm at a point where I'm really confused. It's yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. Things are collapsing. The money's collapsing. You can see it. You can see it. You know, everything we talked about, it's all coming to a head now. You know, I don't know. Maybe maybe it'll be a slow change and, you know, it'll take several years and no one will notice it. But um, it might be too late. And when you come to that realization, you know, that it's too late to do anything about it, it's like, well, then, you know, what are we doing? You know, I need a fucking miracle by like Tuesday. It ain't happening. It's just one thing after another. I told you, ADP was playing games. Now, I had my check come late 2 weeks ago because of the company. So suddenly on this one, it was, dude, listen to this shit. ADP, they paid out paychecks early. It came early. I've never seen this shit come in on a Tuesday. They paid like 3 days early, 4 days early. So weird, right? But I noticed something's wrong. There's this huge amount of federal tax missed, like taken out. And I'm like, whoa, what's going on here? Why did I lose like, what was it? It's like 40%, upwards of 40% was missing. And I'm like, what's going on? And they're like, oh, there was a mistake. And I'm like, same mistake. So it's weird because it came the day after they put, you know, they backstopped, quote unquote, backstopped everything. You know, the Fed came in and said, yeah, we'll bail everything out. We'll make sure the deposits are there. Happened the next day, and like they sent, it's so weird. But anyway, that so it's back to back issues. Like one week they came late, next week they came early, but somehow or another I don't know if anybody else ran into this problem, but it was very strange. You know, wifey, we're not on the same cycle, so don't know yet. But I was like, wow, man, like when it rains, it pours. What more could go wrong here? Like, what the fuck is going on? You know, they lie to us and tell us that the reason the CBDC is necessary is because you'll have fast transactions and they'll be quick and, you know, no more waiting 3 to 5 days. And it's like, something tells me that's not going to be true. Some tells me you're still going to send your money, the employer is still going to send their money to a place like ADP. And then ADP can like send it whenever they feel like it. They can screw it up. You know, there's always going to be a middleman. They use ADP because they just work with their HR department. It's a lot easier to do payroll that way, you know? Why do it yourself when ADP provides the service? So that fucking hurt. That was just like, that was the nail in the coffin right there for now. You know, I work hard. I've literally put sweat into this streaming thing, you know. I hate to compare it to the lottery, but it's starting to feel like that. You know, I was a true believer that if you work on anything, and I still, part of me feels this way, but part of me doesn't anymore. It's like the more work you put into something, like there's no way that you can fail. I even said this the other night, and it's like, you know, who am I kidding? I got an email back from an SEO guy because he said something to me about the stream and saying how it was poorly ranking on SEO. So I was like, listen, dude, you know, I know you're offering a service. I'd love to know more. You know, we could work something out. I'll do some advertising for you. Nope, couldn't do it. I had a company that was doing, they were doing, what do you call it? Shirts and stuff, you know, like merchandise. And this was for Foxhole. And I said, listen, I said, do you have any deals? Will you do anything with, you know, for promoters? And, oh, we're not looking for that. You know, we don't do that. We don't pay people, blah, blah, blah. What'd you have in mind? I said, well, I tell you what, send me some swag, you know, Send me some swag. Send me some Foxhole swag. It doesn't have to be a lot. You know, a hat, a shirt, maybe a sweatshirt, whatever, you know, something. I'll rock that shit on camera and I'll put the link up. Just, you know, we'll help each other out, right? Never heard back from them. And this is what I mean. You have to be big in order to grow, right? It's the time of the small guy coming up is the shit's over, y'all. It's over. I hate to break it to you. I know it's depressing, but it's over. You ain't coming up if you're small. The only way you come up is if you're already stacked. You have to spend money in this game. No matter what anyone tells you, I don't believe it. You have to spend money in this game. Or you have to have money to spend in order to be able to do what you need to do. In other words, you have to be able to float your life, you know, somehow. Take out a home equity loan. I wouldn't recommend that. Somebody takes a home equity loan out and they're like, listen, I'll live off the money for a year or two so that I can go full steam into this stream or into this channel. Like, boy, you're taking a hell of a risk. You're taking one hell of a risk. I guess it really depends, again, how your IRL is, because if you have a nice network in real life, depending on what you're doing, you know, and I'd like to change genre. Part of it's like, you know, we talk, me and wifey talk, she's like, change what you talk about. And I'm like, well, you know, but my audience already tailored towards, you know, this type of stuff. This is what they look for, you know. Case in point, when they, you know, band and ship, they're watching so-and-so and look what he does. You know, look at my search results. Look what, you know, the part that makes me feel that it's unfair is when I look at the returning subscriber count and who's coming back. And it's like, all right, so you subscribe to the channel, you turn notifications on, allegedly. You don't come back. Majority of people don't come back. What can I do to correct this? You know? So then I feel like I'm just being used, because then you sit, obviously not anybody here, but I'm saying in general, you hit the subscribe button. So when I come on and I'm showing something like the protest or something like that, I'm just another source, right? Then it's like, wow, I'm a source to 90% of the people, which normally would be a good thing. And I'm not opposed to that. That's cool and everything. But I catch people that are subscribed to me that are just using, you know, the news, using that information so they don't have to go out and look it up themselves. And they're turning a profit. And so now I'm scratching my head like, what do we do about this, gentlemen? Tax are asshole this year, like 1,600. Jesus. Do gig delivery work and stream it. You know, I thought about doing, it's not an excuse, but I thought about doing, what do you call it? What is it called? The food thing? We have a lease. So I have miles, right? I can't go over certain miles. Yeah, we talked about this. It wouldn't work. I need to get a car that I could, you know, drive like that. I absolutely would do that if I had a vehicle I owned. But with the lease, and I'm sure you understand, I definitely looked into this, but it was the mileage would have just been insane. I would have, you know, for that you need like an older vehicle or something very cheap on miles or whatever. But I would get absolutely destroyed. I would get destroyed on miles, you know. Yeah, I'm monetized. The channel's monetized, but you know, what good is that? Like, honestly, I mean, seriously, this is, you know, like for I never thought we would pull anything off that. I just felt like if, you know, in due time, right? In due time, I suppose. But they take an enormous amount, you know, they take an enormous amount, and there's no advertising revenue. There's very little. That shit that's going on with the shorts, that's just making me blow gasket. Like literally, like that's got me so fucking 38 hot right now. Because every time I put a short up that does well, out the gate, they say that it's not, what's the terminology? Basically, it's like not acceptable for advertisements. The snake video. I put that video up about the snake eating its tail. Okay. And then the guy wipes some hand sanitizer on the snake. The snake lets go. That's the short video. It's a snake eating its own tail. There's nothing bad. There's nothing wrong with it. There's no cussing. There's no cuss words in the title. There's nothing, right? So that comes out, and that one gets immediately. They tell me that it's not basically monetizable, that there are few or no advertisers that will work with me. So then you do the review. I told you the story. You do the review, and then they say, yeah, it's fine. We found no problem with it. But they don't find this out until 4 to 5 days later, it seems like. You know, give or take a day. But the issue is with shorts, it's like you blow your load in the first hour. I run up, I get those, all them views I got, majority of them, like 80, 90% of those views that you see on any given short, that happens in the first hour. Some of them like trickle in after the fact. Some of them have had a little pumps after the fact, but for the most part, they hit the shorts feed and you got about an hour to get the views. And then it like falls out of the shorts feed. But those, every single one of those that you see on my stream that have hit the 1,000 marks, with the exception of one, they have all been considered unmonetizable out the gate, right? And then they get reviewed and they win later on, but it's too late because no one's advertising. You don't get any kind of view on it. So it's like, wow. Okay, FOMO, so solution, don't release the video until you get monetization. Okay, fair enough. So I put the video to private or unlisted like it says to do while I'm waiting on them to clear monetization. When I turn that video over, when I get the green light and I release it, guess what happens? I'll give you one guess what happens. We get no views. None. I thought the snake video was weak compared to other shit that I've done. I can't even like it, and like why is this happening? Some of them shorts were as good, if not better, than the ones that did well. I don't know, guys. I mean, like, I mean, yeah, I let, you know, keep the ideas coming. I'm hoping someone has an idea that I haven't thought of. The SEO thing, you know, I need to maybe study that a little bit better. But that made me really like, I really, you know, and it's funny because while I was doing the shorts for a while there, I was releasing these shorts and they were all getting into the short feed. Matter of fact, one point I had 3 at the same time, which I was like, okay, maybe I shouldn't release them so close to each other. Okay. I realized that right away. But like 4 or 5 of them, it seemed like in a row ran up real fast. And I was like, this is cool, man. I could just keep doing shorts, you know, and blah, blah, blah. The only problem is, like I said, they die off after a while. So you really don't get, you know, a lot of play. I've seen some people do shorts that are freaking great and they don't get any kind of movement on it. I can't understand why. So it's not just a me problem. But then there's other people that put out these things and it's like their first short goes and goes and they're up to like 1 million views and they're still being advertised. I mean, I've seen the shit come through my feed, you know, 100 times. And I'm like, I don't want to see this anymore. Why do you keep sending this to me? It makes me wonder if they're paying to play. Like, pay to play is like the thing, man. If you can pay to play, you know, you can pump your shit. Just like the SEO guy. I'll help you out. I'll get your shit right. I'll get your Facebook things up. They're probably going to do it with fake fucking stuff, right? How many of these people out there, when they start, do you think use that? I'm sure there's a large portion of the popular YouTubes that are out there that have at some point in time have used a service like this. There's a zillion cryptocurrencies that have done this. I guarantee it. I was just hanging out in some of the spaces they were having for NFTs. Yo, the shit you hear in those spaces, like the stuff they uncover, it's wild. It's wild, you know. You got to have some kind of bot accounts or something. Yeah, if I had a ride, bro, like this is the thing. You drop some good damn. Thank you, D. I think I do drop some good shorts. I think they're excellent. Some of them, I even put the words up on the screen. I pay attention. I look at what other people are doing. But like, look at the ones that don't go, and you tell me. Like, you can go through and look at them all. Maybe you have. Tell me the ones that don't go nowhere, how bad they are. Like, are they really bad? Are they at least the same quality of the ones that I did make views on? I don't think so. I mean, what I'm saying is they're at least as good, if not better. But those are the ones that came out the gate with a green dollar sign. And when I do go live with them, they don't go nowhere. So it's like the cards are stacked right now. It's really, really shitty. The cards are stacked against me. That's how I feel. I don't see any other way. And then granted, like even the best one that I did get, that I did catch some on, because the Brooklyn Audits one, that one, because I guess because, they were, after he got arrested, more people were looking for him. So I took advantage of that and like took a short clip of his video. Because you can remix. So I took a 5-minute clip of his video. It was smart, right? And then I get attached to his hashtag, I guess, and people looking for him, they'll find that. I did gain some subs on that. I think total I made 25 cents, but that's not the point. At least I made something. At least something came of that, right? So I figured if I do enough of these things, then I'll be hitting it. But then I started thinking, like, what do I want this channel to be? The animal ones I figured are easy, like animal shorts. Those are like a you can't lose. I'm thinking everyone loves animals. Everyone loves dogs. Look, the video, you got to get them while they're sleeping. Remember that one with my pity, and he looks up, and I did 2 of those. One of them did better than the other, but I think in the end they both got a little bit of views. But the first one was just like you could barely see him in the dark, or me walking down the hallway. That was a joke. I thought that one was a joke. I was just walking down the hallway going doo 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 doo. And I said, let me upload this and see what happens. Me and Mrs. Fomo were joking around. I said, let me see what happens. And that one brought in views. Go figure. I don't know. I really don't know. There's some sauce that I'm not. I don't know. I don't have the recipe to the sauce down. What it is. I'd love to cook, but my kitchen is not conducive to a YouTube cooking channel. Let me tell you right now. I mean, if your standard is like someone that doesn't have a kitchen, then yeah. Like if you don't have a place to cook, or you're living in your mom's basement or something, and you're cooking, all you do is microwave food or something, then yeah, like, you know, but majority of people looking for this, they're not. I need a place to cook. Um, I was doing it at one point with my brother, and that didn't work out for other reasons, but I thought that had an opportunity to go. And I was just producing. He was cooking. I let him do the cooking. I let him do the talking. I just basically produced the video and told him what I needed, did the camera work, edited it. I was trying to get him on a cooking show. And I told him, I said, give me 3 to 5 good videos and I'll show you, And we started getting a little bit of numbers by the third one. But he had IRL people too. So I was like, tell everybody at job, tell everybody here, we'll pump this thing. And then once it takes off, it'll take off, But yeah, for personal reasons, it didn't work out. So we bailed on the idea, which I thought was a good show. I thought it could have been a really good show. He's pretty talented. I don't know, man. I'm just frustrated. Need cheap gas, saver vehicle, change name of channel, phone delivery, and ban. Yeah, need the car, brother. Need the fucking car. I'd love it. I'd love to do it. I tried to get that delivery job. I was going to work for that pizza place, but then I went in there and they lied. I got a bad back. That doesn't help. That really fucks me up. That's one of the main things. That's why I'm out of work. One of the main reasons I'm out of work like that because of the back injury. And these people told me they needed a delivery driver and they were going to pay minimum wage. When I get there, they were going to let me use their car. When I get there, they're like, "Nah, it's not minimum wage. It's only when you're working in the restaurant it's minimum wage." And I was like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa!" So you're telling me I got to clock out every time that I go or I got to clock in when I go on a delivery, and then when I come back, I got to clock into a different pay? And they're like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Wait a minute. So I'm making waitress fucking pay when I'm driving, but I'm making minimum wage when I come back and you're going to." I said, "First of all, I told you in the interview I had a bad back. I mean, for this, I could go get way more than minimum wage and do a sous chef position. Like, I'll throw my back out." That's the whole thing. I'm trying to be delicate because every time I start doing stuff like that, I end up on the floor. Oh, man. What a bunch of shysters. I said, "No, man, no." And then when they were like, "Well, and we're not going to it's not going to work out." I said, "Yeah, you're right. It's not going to work out. Like, you got to be joking. You got me gassed up thinking I'm a delivery driver. You wanted a dishwasher is what you wanted. A dishwasher that did everything. And then, Florida's tips aren't the greatest. People don't tip as well here as they do in other states. I got news for you guys. I drove for Pizza Hut for a long time. They don't tip well. People here think $1 is sufficient. I like the other place too because it was their gas, their car, their insurance, all that. So I was like, "All right, bet. That's great. Minimum wage plus tips. All right, let's do it." Oh, no, 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 no. That's too much. God forbid you made, even minimum wage plus tips. Like, that's too much. There was a delivery charge that they were getting that they kept, but you got tips. But, they wanted to knock me down to like six or $8 or something like that an hour, and then come back and wash their dishes. Like, I was like, "Bro, hold on, man. You didn't say, listen, I understand some restaurants are like that. I'm not complaining. That's fine. But don't tell me that in 2 interviews. Like, you forgot to mention that when I said what would be my daily responsibilities. I asked point blank, do you expect me to work inside the restaurant? No, 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 no. You're just going to be driving. That's why DoorDash is nice because, like, you're not working for them. I've had an Uber driver tell me about how good Uber was. He was doing really good. Uber and DoorDash, that's a business. Like, you create your own business essentially, and your office is your car, right? So you got to get yourself something like that. But I'm telling you, I got put behind the 8 ball really bad here. If Pulse Chain would launch and it did like what I needed to do, a small portion of that would bail me out of a lot of these issues, and then the rest would just be locked away. And that's what I'm looking to do. And but even that may take a little while to get going. Like, I don't expect they're going to be like a several hundred X out the gate. I don't know. I guess it depends on when I mean, it could. It could, if it ever comes out. It could, he could open it up and that thing could run because there's a lot of people. Now it's been several years, right? Like it's almost been 2 years. You got a lot of people that are going to be like, if it releases and it's doing all the stuff that they say it's going to do, and then people see that there was an airdrop and stuff, well, it won't matter then, but there's going to be people that are like, if they see it doing well, they're going to FOMO into it pretty hard. There's more people in crypto now than there was when the sacrifices happened. So I think there'll be a pump. There may be a significant dump. Anyone know what Ethereum proof of work is at? I used to drive around an Amazon van smoking weed all day, delivering packages for 20 an hour. Yeah, you see, D? You see what I mean? Like if I could do that, that would be bomb diggity. Maybe I should look into that. I don't know. I've heard some bad stories about Amazon and all that, but that might not be too bad, if I could use their vehicle. 5 or 6 boxes of kitty litter. Yeah, see that heavy ass shit would be an issue for me. Like as long as I had something to put it on, it's hot. It's brutally hot in Florida. Like in the summer, it's brutally hot. And so I don't know like what the situation would be with that. But if I'm picking up, more than so many pounds, I'm not going to be around too long. It's not going to work. I just wanted to, at one point, I thought about building, and I tried. I wanted to build my own like networking company and stuff because that's what I'm certified in. It's not like I don't have a talent or I have a skill set. I absolutely do. But there's always like, you guys know. Like I said, it's you gotta be able to start somewhere. I don't get food stamps. I don't get none of that shit. So it's not like I'm sitting home on the government tit. But yeah, Trump's going to be arrested Tuesday, they say. So it should be interesting to see. I don't know if you guys read his tweet this morning or his truth. He truthed something out. My wife was like, "Is he crazy after what happened last time?" Like, I said, I don't know, but I would stay far away from any of that shit. Yeah, I get it. I get it, but I tell you what. And this is why they did what they did on January 6th, and this is why they probably just arrested some. You notice they don't arrest Ray Epps though. You know, and let's face it, the people doing the arrest, like the actual like foot soldiers, the people, the cops and all that, they don't give a flying fuck. They don't even know most of the time what they're picking you up for. They may see the charge, but they don't know pretty much anything about you. They could give two shits even if they did, because they're all worried about getting their paycheck. At the end of the day, they don't care. That was proven when you saw them shut down restaurants and whatnot during COVID, right? Remember that? Remember they were shutting restaurants down and such because they weren't. Get down, get down, stop it, put it out. I haven't eaten since yesterday, man. Leave my shit alone. Um, they don't give two shits, bro. They're looking for their paycheck and that's it. And if their master tells them to go get you, it don't matter what you did, what they think, why you did it. They say go shut that man's business down or that woman's business down. Guess what? They go do it. And they'll even sit there and say, well, I don't really agree with it. I'm just doing my job. Or you're just doing your job, Because if they don't do it, someone else will.
Real talk. Real talk. They put people out of business. Small business owners went out of business because these people were just doing their job, you know. And then you get the ones that are brainwashed that are just like, all about it. Like, oh, this piece of shit didn't check people's passports. You must go and die. You must lose your business. You put us all in danger, you know, to the point where some of them didn't want you to eat. Yo, no food for you, sir. Where's my charger? Right? Am I wrong? Yeah, I know, pothead. Like, it's the thing is that I got this fucking injury, bro. I hate it. I fucking hate it. I hate it. The key is trying to take the knowledge I have and turning that into a profit. How can you turn knowledge in? Because if you're not doing anything, then it's pointless, right? Let's face it. So you got to figure a way. If you got knowledge, how do you profitize off that? I thought maybe by, giving out good news, not good news, but, talking about news that was, real stuff that other people really didn't know, maybe breaking it down. I figured there would be some value in that. Fucker. Some of you all do see value in that, clearly. Yeah. What did I do with my damn charger? Yeah, this is wild, man. I didn't take it out of the car, I don't think. That was about the only thing I could figure. Like crypto, I have knowledge in crypto. I'd love to get a job. I've applied for a couple of things. Hell, I even applied for a news organization recently that was looking for people to do like online stuff. And I'm like, hey, I'm your guy. Like, this is what I do on a daily basis. Like, you want to find good news and sling news, I can sling news. I can write to some extent if I need to. I never heard anything. Damn, where the hell did this one? Oh my god, man. Where did I go? You ever lose something? You put something down, you cannot remember where the hell you put it for the life of you? I only got 11% on my phone. I have 100. Oh, here it is. Wow. Wow. It was tied up with the headset. Isn't that crazy? I got time to hang out and smoke one more with you. Like I said, if I need a jump, I'm like a car with a dead battery. I feel like right now I need a jump start, and if that could ever happen, I think the sky's the limit. If we had numbers, I could probably get some advertising, which would be great. Listen, I'm willing to work, man. Like, I've never been scared of work. Like if I could do something that was not physically taxing, or even online, had to put in some hours, like, which is what I've been doing with this one gig. But it's okay. It's not the best, right? The season kind of ended too, so it's not, but it's something. But when they start playing with the money, it makes it like really like bad, you know. I know, D. I really do. I pump this shit out fast. I'm like, and that's the thing. I feel like there's other streamers that watch. These are the people that use me. They subscribe. They don't do shit. They don't fucking tweet you out. They don't reach nothing. And they just use your material and they go find out. You know how many people? That's why when people come in and they're like, where is the link? Do you have a link to this? And blah blah blah. I'm like, yo, join the Telegram. Join something. How about throwing some fucking bits behind the shit? Like, God, like for real. I don't think it's too much to ask. I don't know. I think I do a pretty good job at what I do when I do it, but there's a ratio that's you gotta make, you gotta live, you gotta survive, And I appreciate people that are here constantly. You guys hit the like button. You guys, do stuff like that. And I appreciate you all. But at the end of the day, I need more viewers. We need to pump the number so there's more people doing it, and then there's a bigger pool of people that are like, okay, well, some people are blessed. Some people are blessed more than others, you know. Maybe we reach somebody that, has a large audience they'd be willing to share us with, right? Or maybe somebody has a business that they'd like to advertise, they'd like to share us with, that would be fucking great, But again, we need numbers for that. And the really, really disappointing is Foxhole suddenly. Like, wow, man. I was like Foxhole darling for a minute, and as they grew, they added more people. They got a lot more streamers on there. It seems like we're doing really bad. Rumble is just like, I even heard DeFango last night say about Rumble, like he's like, I think people on Rumble don't know how to chat, or they don't know that they can chat. I attribute it to their app not having a chat capability, which I got a question, what's going on with Rumble? Like you're a public company. Why don't you have an app that has a chat box in it? Like, what's up? We had 53 people top out, right? I'm getting 4 times the amount of views on Rumble, but the chat is like a 10. I mean, mathematically, Rumble's like, it's so weird. He maxed out on hot dogs and started a cart. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. They're taking some of that away. You guys know that, right? Like the SNAP benefits, I hear it all day long when I'm doing the gig. There's people that, wow, they're like complaining that they're losing their SNAP benefits. I think what's happening is during the COVID thing, they were giving out additional SNAP benefits to people. They gave like more money, right? They raised it like $50 a month for a single person. I don't know what they raised it for a family, maybe 50 per person. I don't know, but they were giving out a lot. And now that they're coming to an end, because remember, Title 42, I think, is the one. Isn't that the one where people can't come into the country, right? Title 42, because of COVID from certain countries. So in order to end that, they have to end the pandemic. This is one of the main things that's going on with the Biden administration, with the fact that they can't get and allow certain people to come in. So the only ones that they're turning away, well, they're not even turning them away. They don't process them. These are the ones that they're taking. They're ineligible. Like if you come from like Mexico or some certain countries, a lot of them don't even bother. But if they do, they bring them in. They don't process them though. They dump them on the street, right? The ones that are coming from like legit countries, they take them in, they process them. They can get help from these, I think it's called non-NGOs, non-governmental offices. The NGO steps in and helps them. Now, if the NGO gets caught helping people, I believe it's if they're under Title 42, then they can get in trouble and lose their funding. So like, but they're still doing it on the sly. what you were witnessing when I was showing you San Antonio, no, not San Antonio, El Paso. That was a bunch of people that were coming in that didn't have access to any benefits through the government or through the NGOs because they couldn't technically help them, but they had people coming in dropping off clothes. Like you'd see people show up in cars and had food and all this other stuff. And they probably do this through like the churches and stuff, church organizations and whatnot. But they're supposed to be deporting them people right back. They give them like a notice to appear or some shit. Or if that, I don't know, maybe they just sneak in all together and they don't get caught. I don't know, but a lot of them people you see standing in line are like supposed to be going back. So in order to get rid of that Title 42, we can't be in a pandemic because that whole thing is tied into the pandemic. So now they're stopping the pandemic, but the food stamps are stopping. I think wasn't there a tax break that Trump put into play? I mean, if that's tied into COVID, that's going to stop. There's a lot of stuff that's fixing to like cease when the pandemic, when they stop calling it a pandemic or the emergency. This is why they dragged it out for so long. You think it's bad now with the banks? Wait till you see what's coming. I mean, they say they can just print an infinite amount of money. So, yeah, look, technically, they can put as much money behind it. It's not even a bailout. They're calling it a backstop, but it's essentially making sure the banks have cash. For the longest time, it's my understanding that you couldn't go just get any amount of money out of the bank that you wanted. Like, there's a wait. A buddy of mine sold his house. He waited 2 weeks. He tried to go get like 30 grand and they said, nope, you got to call ahead. We got to order that and this, that, and the other thing. I guess that's better than no, you can't have it ever because we ain't got it. But I suspect that it's going to be the same shit. Like, you go to the bank, try to get 40, 50 grand out the bank. They're probably going to tell you they don't have it today and you're going to have to come back. We're not. I mean, you can't magically wire cash. That's something has to be delivered, right? Unless they got a 3D printer or a regular printer, just letting the banks print it. I doubt it. Yeah, people are hesitant about spending $6 for a bag of potato chips. I wonder why. Because they don't have the. Yeah, exactly, dude. Exactly. You know. So yeah, it's gonna be like a science fiction novel pretty soon. I'll be looking forward to watching what's going on, seeing what's happening this week. Should be an interesting week. You know, I gotta find a way to deal with this shit by Tuesday. I really don't know what to do. I'm a few $100s down, and I just can't fucking get there. I like the old gig I used to do. That shit was like every day, Monday through Sunday, and we got paid daily. And there was like a bunch of different options and things that we could do, like different services that they provided. It wasn't just there was no season. There was a season, but it was only for one product. The rest of it was like, like life insurance. Life insurance is always available, even though there's a certain time of the year where life insurance does do better than others. It seems like right around the end of the year for whatever reason, but that's still something that's available. People always need like car insurance and shit. But some of this stuff you only have a short amount of time to take advantage of it. So, and that's come to an end essentially. Rob alerts. Trump is speaking. Here, you want some fast news? I'll give it to you real quick. Hold on. There are demonstrations, by the way, in Paris. They're daytime demonstrations. I just didn't feel like I'm not doing it, right? Trump with Vivek Ramaswamy, Sebastian Gorak, Tim got. Oh shit, he's over in. Wait, hold on. Oh, my bad. No. I thought Trump was speaking with them guys. Never mind. I'm tripping. they're just talking about it on the spaces. Mario Awful and them. I'm so tired of listening to them though. They talk about everything, yo. They got everything now. There's not even like. Sorry, I think maybe I lost you for a sec. It's not like before where they just did Twitter files. By the way, I don't know. Yeah, you still hear me. There was a Twitter files that came out too. Check that out. The newest Twitter files was pretty interesting. It had to do with them covering up, talking about COVID and stuff, that they basically were stopping people from finding out the, stuff about COVID. So that's out there. Check that out. And that's it. My battery's going to die. So thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for listening to me, talk shit. And I don't know. Be looking on the other channel, for whatever I release. I'll still put out a little bit of stuff here and there, but got to take a break. Like, you got to take a break. I'm just too, like I said, I'm getting too frustrated. It's starting to really affect me. So. All right, much love. Appreciate you, D. Appreciate you, Pothead. Appreciate you. Anybody else that's hanging. Maybe I don't see a number. Somebody else is there. But the fact that you guys even followed over and came to this channel, that's cool. I appreciate you. All right. So I'll catch you all later. Peace. Enjoy your Saturday.